Welcome to the Hard Knocks podcast, where we dive deep into the door-knocking industry, the grind, the grit it takes to succeed in this industry. This is the show for the ones who've been told no more times than they can count, but keep showing up anyway. Today, I've got my man Money Mike Muscari, my top producer. This guy, man, listen, when you first came in, I have to be honest. I know we've never said this before. When Naaman called you back into the interview, I was like, he didn't make eye contact. I'm like, something's wrong. I'm like, he's not making eye contact with me. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. But I just think that's just who you are, right? So like, tell me a little bit about the origins, man, because I know when you were talking with Naaman, you had some troubles going on initially. Yeah. Like there was some stuff going on. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. So first of all, thanks for having me on here. This is great. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So at the time I had lost my job. I was in maintenance. I was the supervisor of a mid-rise down in downtown Fort Worth.
Okay.
And that's pretty much what I've done over the last 10 years. And a new company came in, bought it out, and I was let go.
Okay.
To my surprise, I was just called into the office. I was let go. I was like, oh man, what am I going to do now?
How long were you doing that for?
Probably like the last 10 years.
Okay. Yeah. Same company.
Two different companies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually someone that I used to work with called me to see if I wanted that opportunity to go down to this nice place. It was a really nice mid-rise. I got a free apartment. It was a luxury apartment downtown in Clear Fork. Real nice, man. It was like a $3,500 apartment for free. And, I was getting a salary. It was like a $75,000 salary before taxes. I thought it was good money, you know. And, it was hard because I was always behind on bills, even without paying rent,
Right.
I was just always trying to catch up. I had a lot of debt, car payments, and I was miserable at that job. Even with all I had, I was miserable.
Yeah.
One, I felt I didn't belong in that area. It was a lot of rich people. It was ritzy. I didn't like it. And I hated the job. I've done it for a long time and I wanted something different. I felt like, it's hard to explain, but I felt like it was a dead end job pretty much,
Right.
There was no advancement. I wasn't going anywhere. I was doing the same thing day in, day out, 9 to 5. So that whole last year before I got fired, I was actually thinking about going into sales.
Yeah.
Everybody that lived in that building had a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I would talk to them all the time. And they were all in sales.
Yeah.
Everyone was in sales. And so I even had a family member that's in sales. He does liquor and wine, and he makes good money. And, he always has time on his hands. I'm like, this guy's a salesman, but does he ever work? And he's got money, And I'm just like, maybe I need to get into this, But I've always been an introvert, too.
Right.
I'm not like one of those people, So I started watching videos online, and I found Andy Elliott.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was like, wow, because I'm the type of person, I need some type of structure.
Yeah.
I like someone to be hard on me. I like to be pushed. I'm that guy, you know?
Me too.
Yep. So I started watching all these videos and I was like, man, and it's funny because I feel like I manifested this literally about 2 weeks before I was fired. I was at my parents' house. My family was there. My aunt was there. A bunch of us were there, and we were talking. And I'm like, even though I work a 9 to 5, I would tell anybody young growing up today, get into sales, you know?
Yeah.
And then, 2 weeks later.
My uncle told me this. He said, and I remember this, and I was 18. Mm-hmm. Right, my uncle's a multi-millionaire. He lives at the top of the mountain of Los Gatos. His neighbor is Steve Wozniak, the guy who started fucking Apple.
Yeah, sure.
Just to give you like how much money that motherfucker got. And the best advice he ever gave me, he said, "Listen, you're either gonna make it or you're gonna sell it. And the people who sell it make 80% of the money, and the people that make it or do the labor make 20%. Like, you know what I mean?" It's like you make the car, those guys don't get paid much.
Right.
The guys that sell the cars, they make a shit ton, right? Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's great, man. Yeah, absolutely. So Yeah, so then literally about 2 weeks after that conversation, I was called into the office and I was let go. And I still remember that conversation, that feeling, because my heart dropped. I've never been fired before.
Yeah.
I had a mortgage. I have kids.
Yeah.
And I did
How many
not know.
kids do you have?
2.
Okay.
Yeah, I got 2 kids. And so I didn't know what I was going to do. After a couple of days and everything actually settled and I thought about it, I'm like, well, this is probably my chance to go into sales.
Yeah.
This probably happened for a reason. So this is what I'm going to do. And the only thing I thought about was car sales, you know? And then I seen your videos online just from scrolling through.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, you know, this is the local Andy Elliott, you know what I mean? Because you had, well, you know, it was the passion that you had, all that. And I was like, man, that's, you know, and then, you know, y'all were talking about the gym, the culture. And I'm like, man, that's something that I would fit into. It was everything, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So I
8-pack or you're fired.
Right. Yeah, exactly, man. So and it's funny because I had an interview already over the phone for a car dealership, and they had called me for an in-person second follow-up interview the same week I had an interview here. Ended up coming here with Naaman, interviewed, and I got the job.
Well, you missed the first one.
Did I?
Yeah, you were like, remember we had you come in for an interview, and I think something happened. You were going through something with the house or something.
That was after I was hired.
Oh, that was after.
Yeah. So what happened with that was, so I came in for the interview. It was me and another guy, and you know we were both hired. Naaman sent us out, me and this new guy, with one of the guys that used to work here. And you know, it was a bad experience for me. He was a nice guy.
Who'd you send you out with? Just keep it 100.
Nick.
Okay. We won't say his last name. All right. I know who you're talking about.
Man, it's just...
That's on me. I'll take that. All right.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm going to get up to this point too, why I'm saying this, I went out there and it was just like, you know, hit this store. Oh, good job. Yeah, that was good. Oh, you know. And, you know, people were like, oh, I'm good, thanks. I'm like, all right, sure, no problem. And I kept it moving, you know, because I didn't know anything about sales, you know. I went home that night after I got my teeth kicked in, and I'm like, yep, well, that's not for me. You know? I was like, $100,000, 6 figures, man, this is not for me, man. Naaman reached out to me. I blocked his number.
Oh, shit. I didn't hear this part.
Yep. And here's the thing, though, man. Even after I did that, I still watched the videos, and I'm like, I feel like I made a mistake. You know, I'm like, because it's not me to just quit and give up. And I felt real bad, and I wanted to come back, but, you know, I didn't. It was my pride to call and try to come back. I wasn't going to do that.
Yeah.
So Naaman reached out to me on a couple of days later on Facebook Messenger, man. I'm like, man, this guy don't give up, man.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I got to reach back, you know, because...
Just to inject in that story, right? Like, just so... I told Naaman not to call Mike back. I was like, he fucking quit. I'm like, they're quit. You know, listen, now you've been in this a year and a half, right? Yep. You're like, bro, like...
Yeah. He ain't going to make it.
Yeah, he ain't going to make it, bro. He got fucking shell-shocked, you know, but... Go ahead. So yeah. So
I love that too, man. I love to hear that now, you know?
Yeah.
So I reached back to Naaman. I told him what was going on. At the time, man, I was losing my house. I wasn't paying my mortgage, you know? I was just going through a lot of stuff, man. Personal stuff too, more personal stuff. It was a real bad time. Had no money, you know?
Yeah.
Was filing for unemployment. So, you know, talk about rock bottom. I was there. Moved back in with my parents, you know, and I'm in my 40s, man. So that was not an easy thing to do, but I had no choice. I had no money to fall back on. I worked my whole life, but just the money never went anywhere. I could never get ahead, you know. So long story short, Naaman had me come back, and, you know, he put me with Brinson, you know. And that was the best thing because I was able to see that it was possible. I was still like, you know, I still don't see where 6 figures comes into knocking on people's doors. Like, how is this, you know?
Yeah.
But, I mean, the very first day I went out with him, man, I mean, he made it look so easy. And obviously, people that are seasoned are going to make it look easy.
Yeah.
But it's really not that hard.
Right.
Because I had early success. After the first week with Brinson, I had no problem getting on roofs.
Yeah.
You know, and I got on roofs left and right. And then Brinson would close these deals out for me.
Yeah.
So I really started rolling early on, you know, and I ran with that, man, you know. Do I love knocking doors? No, but I love everything else about it. I do love getting on the roofs. I love meeting the people. And it took a lot of time. I was getting unemployment. It wasn't much.
Yeah.
But the unemployment was helping me to get by, and I was also living home with my parents.
Right.
I made some sacrifices.
Right.
Okay?
Absolutely.
I made a promise to myself. I got a vision board, and I hung it in my room, and coming from a 9 to 5, I didn't work weekends. I didn't work nights.
Yeah.
That was another thing. I was like, man, I like my nights.
Yeah.
Well, I wrote on this vision board, I'm going to work nights. I'm going to work weekends. I'm going to make $100,000. All these things I said I was going to do, and I did it, man.
Yeah.
I made, and I doubled that.
Yeah.
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 I took off. It took a lot of time and a lot of hard work. I don't think I took a weekend off, and it took about 6 months for me to really start feeling more comfortable and learning everything, but I did. And, 2 things that I think really helped me was I invested in myself early on. Yeah. I had no money, but I went out the first week, I bought myself a ladder, I ordered a drone, and a couple weeks later, I got my cougar paws. Because I was scared shit on those roofs, man. I'm a lot more comfortable.
Yeah. The first time you get on the roof, you're like, I'm about to fucking die.
I never liked tights. I never liked tights, man, but I got used to it. Now I love, I run up those things, man,
It fucking flip-flops. You're like, yeah.
Absolutely, man. But yeah.
So tell me about, I remember when you first came back and you were rocking with Brinson. So, I think it's something big for people to understand, especially when you guys are recruiting, is that you guys don't still want to recruit somebody and put them with somebody who's a C player or mediocre or doesn't really hold the standard, right? Like, I think you need to put your new guys with the best people that you possibly have so they can see that it's possible. Because that's the same thing that happened with me. It's just like, as soon as I saw that it was possible, I was like, I saw a commission check. I saw this guy buy this truck. I saw this kid buy a Rolex.
Why can't I do this?
Yeah, I was like, bro, all right, dude. Like, there's something I'm missing here. You know what I mean? And so I love that you said that, though, because it really did just teach me that, although we've kind of learned that over time, but it just reiterated that for us because, now you've grown so much. How long have you been here?
September, 14 months.
14 months. And in 14 months, I read your numbers the other day.
Yeah.
You're at $1.8 million. That is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Are you going to get to the Golden Door this year or what?
Man, I'm trying.
Try, dude.
I'm gonna cross 2 million, man.
I know you're gonna get 2. I know you're gonna get 2.
Radar, man.
I'm just saying, if we put 2 more 25 plates on each side, can you get it for 1 rep, dog?
Man,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That'll be your PR, dude. I feel like this is the year that you could do it, dude.
I know. I want to say something funny too. I don't know if you remember, man, but back when we had the one-on-ones, and the first one, when y'all asked me what my sales goal was going to be for the year, I remember coming into the company where a lot of people for the year were just at 400,000.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to be at.
Yeah.
I wanted to say 400. And Eamon kind of looked at me and I was like, all right, 500, a million. He's like, 2 million, not 2 million. And I'm like, dude, I don't even think I'm going to hit 1 million.
Yeah.
I still, because it was still a couple months in, and my confidence was not there.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was like, no way, man. So I still can't believe that I had the year I did, but I do in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really do, because I feel like I've gotten so much better. I have that confidence now that I know I can go out and just hit a couple doors, and if there's damage, I'm going to help those people.
Absolutely. What were some of your beliefs that you found not to be true? Okay. You're right. When you got into this, you believed a certain thing, right? And what did you find out wasn't true?
I found out that, so I had a lot of people, family, friends, when I told them what I was going to do, they were like, oh, you have responsibilities, you have kids, you need to get a real job,
Yeah.
People told me it was a pyramid scheme.
Right.
All these things. And I was like, well, I don't have a choice right now. I had no plan B.
Yeah.
That's why, like I said, I invested in myself, and it was all plan A.
Burn the ships.
Yeah, I had no choice. So that's one thing I found not true. If you actually go out and work, you will be successful.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
And what is one thing that you didn't think was true that now you're like, okay, it's true?
That this can literally change your life.
Yeah. It has been, dude, it can bring tears to my eyes, bro. I mean, I'm going to spare the fucking, the waterworks, dude.
Yeah.
But like watching you grow from the day that you got here to who you are now, I mean, it is like, dude, you're unrecognizable.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about that on the meeting the other day, right? It's like you want to grow so much that people have to reintroduce themselves to you, that they don't even know who you are anymore. Not that, you know, like you completely changed, but how you carry yourself, how you talk, how you communicate.
Confidence, man.
Yes, that confidence.
My chest sticks out a little bit more now, man. You know,
yeah,
but it's true. You know,
100%.
I think everybody should knock doors for a couple months in their life just because of what it can teach you. The grit. You know, it's taught me confidence. I mean, it's taught me so many valuable things other than just making money. You know, I'm way more confident now with everything I do. If I even like when I go out to buy things now, I ask questions. It's just, it's given me so many other life lessons. And being in this company, man, the leadership here is exceptional because it's helped me become a better person in all aspects. All the places where I used to work, I've always been like that person. You know, not to sound like an ass, but I was just that.
It is what it is. Yeah,
there was no competition.
You're the swole dude that goes to the gym, that eats right on a diet plan, right? Like that. Yeah, exactly.
There's no one that's going to hold you accountable to anything, you know, because the standards are low. It's
Come on, dude, just have a piece of cheesecake, dude. What the fuck,
well,
dude?
yeah. Anytime you did something good, there's pizza, there's donuts. You know what I mean? Good job. Have some donuts. You know. So now, you know, coming here, guys are competing on the Stairmaster. Who's going to do 2 hours? Who's going to do 3 hours? Like, you know, doing bodybuilding shows. Like, I love it, man. You know what I mean? It's such a great culture, and it's so much more than just a job and work. You know what I mean? And it's made me just a better all around person just in 1 year.
Yeah,
I mean, 100%.
What would you tell the audience that's watching that has been hesitant about getting into the roofing industry, right? They're like, man, there's so many, right? I mean, listen, like you look in, I'm sure in your inbox now, and your success that you've had here, I'm sure everybody's in your fucking DMs, right?
Yeah,
I mean, there's so many. Yeah, I know you do. What would you tell the guys that are hesitant about getting into this, period? What would you tell them, right? They're like, I don't know if it's going to work for me. I don't know. Like, what advice would you give those guys?
I guess I would say, first I would say, why not? Whatever you're doing right now, it's not working, obviously, right?
Yeah.
So try something different. I feel like for me, it was a hamster wheel. If I wasn't happy doing what I was doing, I went to another company, right? But it was still the same thing. It's the same cycle. And I felt like I was on that hamster wheel just going around and around and around. You have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
I had no roofing experience, no sales experience, and I came here and I was successful. Obviously, it was a great team that I had around me that helped.
Absolutely.
But I also put in the work.
100%.
If you're thinking about door-to-door roofing, just you have to believe in yourself. Have some confidence and have work ethic.
Yep.
Come here and, you know, with a company like this that's going to back you, give you the tools.
Yeah.
As long as you have the work ethic and you believe in yourself, you will succeed.
Absolutely.
Because I have guys with me right now that are working with me that they're doing it. They're showing up every day and they're going to be super successful.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the key, you know? Just work. Show up every day, work, have that mentality that, you know, forget about plan B. Too many guys, I think, come into this with like, you know, oh, I need money right now. I need money right now, you know? And you're going to leave, go make $16, $18 an hour right now.
Yep.
But where are you going to be 10 years from now?
You're always going to be in the right now.
You're going to be catching up. You're never going to get there,
Exactly.
you know? Make some sacrifices, save some money, show up every day, work hard. Sacrifice now so you can enjoy those later years.
I love that, dude. Yeah. I wish we had like a fucking just bomb to drop right there, because it's the slingshot effect. You have to take, you know, 300 feet back
Yeah.
to take 10,000 steps forward. And
Yeah.
people do not understand that concept. They're like, oh, like, I want to switch here and I want to make more money right now. And they
Right.
don't understand. Like, people go to, like, dude, I sat down with my financial advisor yesterday and he's like, dude, you roofers make more than my doctors do. And he goes, and my doctors go to school for 12 years.
Yeah.
I'm asking people to go to school for 90 days, like in the sense of like the onboarding and the training, right?
Sure.
You know, because it does take 60 to 90 days to really get your mind wrapped around this.
Yeah.
But once you do, it's like, you didn't just give a man a fish, you taught a man to fish. And that right there is like the most rewarding. You know, I saw, like, you're a team lead now. Like, big shout out to you now that you have a team, man. And the way you run your team, dude, I think you've learned a lot from Brinson.
Oh, yeah.
You've learned a lot from Naaman, myself, right, about running these teams and accountability and things like that, and being on those guys and being more like a life coach, right? Because it's nobody wants a fucking manager, right? Like, you know what I mean? And no, I heard this thing on Instagram. You know, it's Matthew McConaughey and his dad are talking about saying the word can't. It's if there's no can't, right? It's just you have trouble doing it, okay? And that just means that you need to increase your skill set so you don't have to have that trouble anymore. Right. And like guiding people, I've watched you guide a lot of guys, especially Dylan. I mean, you've literally lit a fire. I mean, he had a fire, but now he's like a fucking bonfire. Yeah. Now he comes in, he's in the gym, like he emulates, right, what you do, and he follows what you do. And that's why leadership is so important. And I think that that's why we're scaling at the level that we're scaling at, is because the leaders that we have are fucking A+ players. You know what I mean? All right, so roofing isn't easy, of course. You know, there's days that we wake up and we're like, fuck, like, you know, like, all right, you know, the hardest door to knock is your car door, right? What keeps you motivated on the days where you don't want to get out there?
I'll be honest, man. I have days I don't want to get out there, but I think it's more discipline than it is motivation, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like the gym, man. I go to the gym every day. I don't post it every day, but I'm in that gym every day.
Right.
Do I want to go to the gym every day? No.
No.
I go because I've been doing it for years, and I know the benefits. I feel better when I go.
Yeah.
I also feel better when I work. Even if I'm out there and I don't get anything,
Yeah.
I feel better knowing I put the effort in.
Exactly.
You know?
I love
I'm one of those people, man. Like, if I do nothing for a day, if I don't work, if I don't go to the gym, I feel like crap, man.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what it is, you know, but that's pretty much, I try to hold myself to a standard, and I try to say, you know, I'm going to go out there and work, especially when I don't want to do it. And I hear a lot of the leaders here say that, man, you know, when you don't want to do it, that's when you need to do it. And it's those are usually the days when you don't want to go out, that you do end up going out and you have a successful day.
100%.
So
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I got another question for you. What do you think is the differentiator between people that kill it like you, right? Like me and Naaman and Brinson and, you know, our top guys. We got a lot of $1 million producers here, right? What do you think is the differentiator between those guys and the guys that aren't doing $1 million?
Honestly, I mean, I'm probably going to hurt some feelings, but just lazy.
Yeah.
They're lazy.
Yeah.
There's no reason why everybody can't do $1 million.
Yeah.
You have to go out there and work. You have to grind. You have to get a lot of claims every week. Deals are going to fall through. If my deals didn't all fall through, I probably would have been at double the sales I'm at. I mean, I'm not even kidding.
Right.
It's work, man. And like, even Dylan was surprised the other day. Like, he had no idea that when I go home after knocking, I'm working another 2 hours.
Yeah.
I don't have office hours on Tuesdays or on Wednesdays. I have them when I wake up. I have them when I go home. My iPad's constantly open. I'm constantly working.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what it is. It's work ethic. You can make as much as you want. The more you work, the more money you're going to make. Yeah, your numbers are going to reflect your work ethic. That's it.
100%. 100%. Yeah. So this year, or let's just talk the last 14 months, right? What was the biggest lesson that you learned in roofing in the last 14 months?
Man, that's a good one. There's a couple. I would say two of the biggest lessons I've learned. One is definitely customer service.
Yep.
I've learned that it's very beneficial to make sure that you're showing up to your builds, that you're actually building relationships, because this is going to be the difference between getting your referrals, your reviews.
Yep.
When you sell someone a roof, or when you change a roof for someone, I don't even like saying selling someone a roof. When you help them get a new roof, right? It can be very transactional, or you can actually turn it into a new relationship, right?
Yep.
And there's some guys here that are very good at that.
Yeah.
And that's something that I'm trying to work on and get better at, right?
Absolutely.
I want to, bring things and build a relationship and make sure they're taken care of and clean up for them. They see my face in the beginning of everything, but I want them to see my face at the end of it too.
Absolutely.
So that's one of the biggest things I've learned. And I know with so much competition here in DFW, if you want to stand out, you need to do those kind of things. 100%. I tell all my homeowners, I'm like, we're a customer service company first, then a roofing company.
Absolutely.
My goal is to provide you with the 5-star experience.
Exactly.
I tell them that all the time because I mean it.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure I'm backing that up too.
100%. I could tell how passionate you are.
Yeah.
Because I remember, when that material was not going to get delivered on time, you were like, dude, fuck no. Like, we're going to figure out how to get this material here on Monday, and we figured it out and all this stuff. But that just shows, that just shows how much you care about your homeowners, right? And making sure that things are done the way you said they were going to be done, even though it is construction, right? Like, things do happen, right? Fucking nail gun can fly through a window. Fucking things happen. I mean, we've all had it happen to us, right? It's not about what happens, it's our response to it that matters, and also setting those expectations beforehand that really matter, right? It's like we're not perfect. We strive to be perfect, right? But when the thing happens that's not perfect, trust me, we're going to perfect it.
I've learned that too. I learned that from you in the trainings, because I used to tell people, we're going to get every nail. It's going to be great. There's going to be no issues, And I quickly learned, So now I prep people like, hey, it is a construction zone. Things, don't always happen, but they do happen, But no, I definitely prep people now the right way. So,
yeah. So listen, so now that you're a team lead, what is your goal for your team? I walked out of that meeting yesterday, right? And I know you have 5 or 6 guys underneath you right now. What is your goal it's a 2-part question. 1, who do you want to be as a leader in the next year? Right. And then 2, what is your goal for your team? Period.
So the goal for my team is for all my guys, whoever is on my team, I have a couple of them. 1, it's to run jobs from start to finish on their own.
Yep.
I want them all to be successful. I want them all to be, making at least 6 figures at the least.
Yep. Which ain't shit.
Right. Right. But just, I want them all to be successful. I want them all to make money, to be able to run jobs from the beginning to the end. And I just, I want them all to, I want them to also enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My job is to, help teach them, but it's to lead them. Their success is going to depend on me. It's only going to go as far as,
you go.
I do.
Yep.
Right? So,
are you listening to that book I sent?
Yeah, I did. I started today.
Dude,
I was listening to it on the way here.
So he says that in there, right? Is that your team will only rise to the level of the leader.
Absolutely.
And if the guys rise past that leader and they outgrow him, then they leave.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you always got to be on your game.
I mean, it's a reflection,
Exactly.
I mean, that's, that's where it starts, And so I just, and I was thinking about that too, I feel different now because I want to make sure they succeed, knowing, that I'm responsible. It's almost like for my kids, right? I'm responsible for my kids. I got to make sure that they eat, that they're housed, all these things.
Absolutely.
Well, same thing these are these guys are on my team, if they're going to make money, that has a lot to do with me. I have to give them the tools. I have to help educate them. I have to make sure that, they know what they're doing. And I feel that I had that opportunity when I came in here, because I can turn around and say, yeah, I was shown by the best.
Yep.
And I want these guys to be able to say that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yep.
but I want them to be successful. That's the main thing. I don't want them to say I was the best. I don't care about that. I just want them to say, that I'm glad that, I'm thankful Mike was able to teach me and help me.
100%.
You know what I mean? Because it's a great feeling. Now that I'm actually doing that for people, I'm watching some of these guys make money. It's a great feeling.
Yeah.
I've never had that before.
That's a better feeling than the money.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
Like literally when I see guys change their entire life, I'm like, dude, there ain't a check you could give me that could replace that feeling, man. Like, and like literally that's why I'm in this, is I'm like, I feel like fucking Harriet Tubman. I'm like, I'm just trying to like save the guys that have the talent, the know-how, that work ethic, that were taught the whole school system, go work hourly for some company and then get a 401k and retire at 68 if you even make it to 68 years old, right? It's like, no, like I don't want guys to just survive. I want people to thrive here, and that's really what our intention is with every single person here. And if you're not thriving, like you're on our radar to make sure that you are thriving.
Absolutely.
Now, there was a two-part to that. There's two-part question to that. How do you want to evolve as a leader in this next coming year?
How do I want to evolve as a leader? I want to be able to make sure that. That's a good question. I guess, man, just, I want to be able to show people and teach people to do what I was able to do.
Absolutely.
I want to duplicate that, right?
Yep.
So I think for years I've struggled to find what my purpose is.
Mm-hmm.
And, I started working here. I'm like, oh, roofing's my purpose. Well, that's not what my purpose is. I think this is my purpose, right? And it always has been in a way, because I've always liked showing people things, back in the day, I was a trainer. I would train people, but this is different because you're changing people's lives, right?
Absolutely.
So that's where I want to be able to change someone else's life, right? I want them to come in here. Even if they doubt it like I did, that's even better, because a lot of these guys, I share my story and I tell them, hey, I doubted it too. I quit and I came back and look at me now, you know? So that's what I want to do. I want to be able to help other people succeed and be able to do what I did.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's people out there, right? You're a team lead.
Yep.
What's the benefit of being on Mike Muscari's team if they come over to Miller Storm?
I'll tell you right now, you come over to my team, you're going to change your life. That's the difference, man.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people come in, I need money, money, money. It can't always be about the money, Obviously, I love doing this. I wouldn't be doing it if I wasn't making money, right? Yeah. But if you want to change your life, this is where it starts. If you're on my team, you're going to make money. You're going to be a better person. You're going to learn better habits. And just, it's the culture, man. You're going to be surrounded by a great group of people, you know, and you're going to win, man. That's the thing. On my team, you're going to win. We win. So,
your team is winning.
You're
like
going to win. You're going to make money. You're going to win.
Yeah, you're real active with your guys. Like literally, I see you with different team members all the time, right? Like, and so I don't know anybody on your team right now that isn't moving at the rate you're moving at. You know what I mean? Your skill set might be better, but they still, you're still leading the pace, right? And you're still running that. And now these guys are also getting inspired to get in the gym, working out, posting on the motivation chat, doing diet plans, things like that. So I really love that about you, man, and what you bring to the table, because that represents Miller Storm to the fullest.
Appreciate that.
So there's other guys though out there, right? There's like 10,000 million fucking roofing companies out there, man. Why should somebody come to Miller Storm?
Well, I think number one, man, it's culture. You know, there is a great culture here.
Yeah.
It's a super transparent company. You're never going to have to worry about, you know, someone trying to get over on you. Every single guy that works here is a good person. I can't think of one bad thing to say about anybody here. Everybody is super humble.
Yep.
As much as they are killers, you know, out there, they're humble. Everybody's willing to show you or help you. Even y'all, you know, you and Taylor, I mean, just incredible people, man. You know, the back office, we have a great back office. I mean, I would not be where I'm at in sales or anything without all the help. Man. I mean, seriously, I call these poor girls every day, Phil every day. We have such a supporting team. And what's one of the things I hear, man, a lot of these companies, you know, you're doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm literally selling, man.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm selling. And I mean, I have other responsibilities for sure. And I'm trying to, you know, get better at that. But this is a great team. Everybody helps here. I mean, I wouldn't even think about looking at another place or go. I've had plenty of jobs in my life, man, where, you know, you always like, you know, you go online, you look around in other places, you know what I mean? I mean, that thought hasn't even popped into my head, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm happy here. I think it's a great place. And, you know, I've heard some horror stories, you know, about a lot of other companies. So I think if you've had a bad experience or you just, you know, want to try something different, come by, especially on a Monday. Just sit in on a meeting, see how we do things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why not?
Two
what
claps
do you
and
have
a
to
Ric
lose?
Flair.
Yeah, right. 2 claps and a Ric Flair, man.
Get the energy going for the week. Yeah, man. I think it is the culture and the energy and dude, I look at y'all like family.
Oh,
like,
same.
Like seriously, like literally we spend a lot of time together. We support one another, man. If someone needs help, we're like, oh, I got you. One hand washes the other, both wash the face. You know, we're all looking after one another. We don't have the fucking drama. And also, we're not letting people in this door, man, if they're not up to the standard. You know what I mean? If you aren't trying to be elite, dude, then they literally will walk out of the room. They'll just quit. Like, we won't even have to fire them. They'll be like, I just don't belong in this room, right? Like, but then the people that stay, they're like, oh, I want to be just like these people, right? And so that's what, you know, when people go, how many reps do you got? And I'm like, bro, how many reps do I got? Like, have you seen the movie 300? Did you ask that motherfucker how many soldiers he's got? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter how many people you have. It's how many A players want to be around A players, right? And C players do not want to be around A players, and A players don't want to be around C players. Like, and so I think we have a fucking just an Avengers of A players on our team. You know, I've heard this stuff, and listen, there's a lot of good companies out there, but like, I think from start to finish, we really teach people step by step, everything from sales to communication to personal lifestyle to support the staff. I mean, literally, we lock in and we do this week over week, man. We have fun doing it. Going out to dinners, you know, going to events. We've done plenty of those things as well. We're making a movement, big dog.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to have you be part of the team, dude. I'm so grateful Naaman called you back, bro.
Me too.
You know, me and Naaman talk about that all the time. Like, I'm like, don't call him back. If he can miss if he's late for his interview. But you are one of the, I guess, the only one that Naaman did call back, man, and it was well worth it, dude. And I'm so proud of how much you've grown over these last 14 months. You've done a tremendous amount of not just personal development, but you've also set the standard inside of the company. You're like another Brinson, dude. Like, guys look at you and they go, I want to be like Mike. You know what I mean? And I just love what it's done for your family. I see you pulling up now. Your walk's different. Your talk's different.
Little bit.
You know what I mean? And it's cool to just have another fellow New Yorker, even though you kept your accent. I lost mine. But you know what? New Yorkers, man, the one thing they do breed is hustlers. And that's what we got, bro. So thank you for coming on the podcast, man. I hope
Thanks
to
for
have
having
you
me.
on soon, dude, again, man. I think this is really cool, bro. There was a lot of things that we didn't know about each other, right? And then also some things we did know, but I think now the world knows. So tune in, guys. Hey, Mike, do you want to give them your handle on Instagram and Facebook? You got your handle on Instagram so they can reach out to you?
Yeah, it's Anthony_Mike, and at Facebook it's just Mike Muscari. Everything is public, so you'll be able to find me.
Cool. And if you can't find him, you DM me at Roof Dr. J on Instagram. Just DM me Mike, all right? If you like Mike, which mostly every single person in this company does. Everybody wants to be on Mike's team. So DM me Mike. DM me ready if you're ready, or you want to be part of the team, or you want to even just have a conversation. We'd love to have that with you. If you are if somebody that is just running into brick walls left and right, you feel like you're hitting glass ceilings, you feel like you're not really going anywhere in your life, and you're ready to make $200,000 plus. Mike, do you mind adding? Would you mind sharing?
Sure.
Like, how much money have you made in 14 months?
I've cleared 200.
It's clear 200. Yeah. So well over $200,000 in the last 14 months, guys. That's life-changing money. I see him pulling up in new cars all the time. He has a way better lifestyle than he had now. So Mike, Money Mike, Muscle Mike, all the nicknames we got for you, dog. Hey, I'm super proud of you. Thank you for jumping on the Hard Knocks podcast.
Appreciate it,
Stay
man.
tuned for the next episode.